It's World Mental Health Day today, and I guess for me that just means it's an opportunity to kind of talk about mental health in a way that's really normal, so that we all feel discussing mental health is a normal thing to do. Now, obviously, what I do puts me in some really extreme situations. I spend months on my own, and during that time, I'm dealing with some really challenging situations, both physically and mentally. And there are a few techniques that I've learnt along the way that help me to deal with both being alone and feelings of isolation, but also help me step up to difficult times and challenges when I'm really unsure about my ability to cope. I think firstly, dealing with isolation is maybe a little bit easier for me because I choose that isolation. And so whenever I go offshore on my own, I go with the security that I have the thoughts and the love of the people that I've left behind, and I know they care about me. And so I use that as a strength to remind myself that although I'm physically alone, I'm not actually alone in spirit, and I'm not mentally alone, because there are people that are thinking about me and who care about me and who I know if I needed them, I could contact them. But one of the things that does help me, that I ask my friends and family to do when I'm alone, is when they contact me, instead of just sending me a one-line question of "how are you," as so many of us do, I say to them, when you contact me, can you actually just tell me about you? Can you tell me a piece of news? Can you tell me a funny story that happened? Tell me something you're worried about. Just share a piece of your life with me, because actually it's much easier for me to absorb that, and in a way it's more comforting for me to hear about you than for you simply to ask me the question, "how are you?" which kind of requires a response from me, and sometimes I just don't want to give that response. And so I think maybe, if you're reaching out to people that you care about, thinking about their mental health, thinking about their well-being, it takes a little bit more effort, but if you share something about yourself, maybe that's going to help them, or just kind of bring a spark to their day that they wouldn't otherwise have. The second thing is, dealing with adversity, dealing with different conditions and different challenges. And I do very often get scared, and I very often do doubt my ability to get through things. And when I'm scared, I go through all of the reasons that I shouldn't be scared. So, for example, a really great example around this is climbing the mast. Climbing the mast alone is terrifying, but sometimes I have to do it. And before I do it, I sit down and I mentally go through a list of reasons why it's okay or necessary for me to climb the mast. So I will cover off all of the training that I've done, all the safety procedures that I've put in place. What would happen if I didn't climb the mast? What will happen if I don't address that situation? And I just gently talk myself through all of those reasons why I should be confident to go ahead and do something, and I should believe that I'm capable of it. And that gives me more inner strength to deal with difficult situations.